Good morning and welcome. Here we are, Friday morning, time about 10 o'clock, back up the Club Lake after two sessions, one here and one at Stanford. Both tricky, both very difficult, and I think even though the sun's been shining the last few days, I reckon I overfed it. So what I'm going to do today is go back to my basic sort of autumn stroke winter attack. I've put no bait in at the moment at all. The rigs for today, it's going to be a 4 number 12 float, bulked as per usual in the last foot to a size 16 hook, but this time I'm going to feed every put in with a little toss pot rather than go at it with a big pole pot, which I think is what I've been doing wrong. The other rig, very similar, but a bit heavier. This is on a 14 elastic, and that's a 4 number 12 strung out stops this time to a size 12 hook, and I intend to use that down here in the edge. I'll show you in a second. I'll take the camera out of my pocket and you'll be able to see what I mean. Yeah, I'm going to get this bit of tree out down here because that will cause me a lot of problems, and then I'm going to fish just in this area here, and I'm going to put in a few grains of corn, and I've also got some little floating dog biscuits with me. So what I should do is I should put a couple in there and just listen to see if you can hear the carp. If you hear them go, I'll have a go at them. Last time we was up, if you remember, the guy up here by the lily pads, he had about 7 or 8, so they were still keen then. But it's just really a just in case rather than a form of attack. Baits today, I've got 4 pints of softened micro pellet, the dog biscuits as we say, 6mm expanders, and some corn. The corn's really for just down there. So we'll have a put in. Get back in there a second. What I'll do is I'll put a 6mm pellet on the hook. I'll plumb the depth, and this will be fishing just on the bottom. It's a good starting point. Put one of the 6mm on, like so. And then into the toss pot I shall put a pinch of pellet. I'll leave it loose so that it goes down through the water column slowly. I'm only going to fish out at 6 metres because I don't think there's any need here to be too far out. Only when there's pressure on the water, like if it's a competition. I think under these circumstances it's perfectly okay to fish tight. I've lined up with the platform on the other bank. I've got a long lash at the moment because there is a little bit of wind about. I'll just pop that in like so. We'll just see what happens. I've got the float set very low in the water so that any little bites, digs, we'll see straight away. See how we fare. I'm not going to feed until I get a bite. So basically now that's going to sit there. We're going to see what happens. If I don't get a bite after, say, 5 minutes, I'll come back in. Same again, little pinch there, straight away we had a bite then. So we'll see if we get another one without feeding. So I'm convinced I've overfed it the last couple of days. Absolutely sure of it. Float's just showing. I'll put a little bit of Vaseline on that next cast, just so it holds up a little bit better. I can see it, but if the wind gets up, first few fish will probably be just, oops, a little roach. Just put a bit of Vaseline on that. But I would expect a few bream and a few crucians, or F1s. Right, we'll get a little bit of the Vaseline out. just poke the float into it like so. It's a neutral buoyancy. Won't make any difference to the delicate presentation, but you'll see how much better it sits up in the water. On with the 6mm. I'm not going to feed down the edge for a little while. Just let that settle from when I came here and put my box down and everything. You can't help but make a little bit of noise. Another pigeon pellet into the pot. And out we go. The bait in, get a few bubbles already around the area I'm feeding, that's a good sign. Just tease the micro pellets out of the pot. See how better the float's sitting now with that little bit of Vaseline. What a fast bite. I think they must be roach. Might have to shorten this lash if they're fast bites like that, or has a run. Definitely. That's a good sign. Oh, little roach. Again, I won't be in any hurry to refeed. We just go back out over the grub I've put in for the time being, see what happens. Because the mornings are definitely a little bit chillier. We're getting a bit of sun in the afternoons, and it's absolutely gorgeous for October anyway. But I do feel that the last couple of days I've spoilt my chances by feeding far too heavily too early. The old saying, you can't take it out once you put it in, is absolutely right. A little bit better fish, still a roast. It's alright, he come off at the net, that's fine. He was only going to be taken off and put back anyway. Just spread these shots out a little bit more. Very easy to be deceived by the weather this time of year, because you think to yourself, oh, bright sunshine, lovely day, fish are going to be absolutely starving. Well, sometimes they are, but being cold-blooded, most times they're not. My friend Peter, who you've seen on some of the other videos, he's got a outside pond full of koi carp, crystal clear like the koi guys keep them, and it's amazing. You watch those and you see how little amount of grub it is needed just to keep them excited. It's incredible. We'll do some more videos with Peter. Soon he comes back at he's at Whiteacres at the moment, fishing a big competition. When he comes back, we'll get him to do a few articles for us. So if you like the videos, please subscribe. I think the comments are on, so you can certainly leave a comment if you want to. I'll try and answer anything you ask me. I think the winter is a better fish as well. Just touched him. So we've already got the fish quite interested. We're getting a bite every put in, which is good. About 6 anglers on the lake today. I did bring a waggler rod with me, but I haven't set it up because I think I'm just going to sit, have a nice little afternoon on the pole. It's lovely fishing when it's like this, short. Having to wait a little longer for a bite now, so that's the fish sort of telling me that we want a bit more grub than you're giving us, so I'll put in half measures, but I'll put it in every put-in. See if that keeps them interested. Just give it a little lift and drop, see if we catch any of their attentions. See how the bites have slowed though, where we haven't been putting a bit of grub in behind this cast. Right, let's see what different. Oh, no bait, no bites. We'll put a bit of grub out as well. Put a fresh pellet on. On with the pellet. And just about 30 little bits of micro pellet. Not a great deal, but I'll put that in every put-in, because they certainly look like they just want a little bit of bait to keep them active. Bite straight away then. Probably only small fish, but we're getting a few bubbles there now, as you can probably see. I wouldn't think it'd be long before we catch a bream. Ooh, quick bite again. Right, even though we haven't been out there very long, I shall put in about 20 little bits of micro pellet again. I'm going to do it every put-in now. They'll soon let you know if you put in too much, because again the bites will stop, but this time they'll stop because you've probably given them a little bit too much. It's all really a question of feel. And that's what makes some anglers better than others. They just read the feel quicker than others. I mean, I'm pretty slow at changing, I've got to be honest, but as I say, my pal Pete is a quality match angler. He seems to be able to think like a fish. Look at the bubbles there now. There's definitely a few fish there stirring up the bottom. Little tiny pinhead bubbles. I'd like to think they were a tench, but I doubt it. There's very few tench in here. Might have to put a little back shot on that in a minute just to stop that wind. Right, well, I think we've found the way to go today. I'll switch off for the time being. I'll prime this inside swim and come back to you when we've got something to show you. See you in a bit.